Hey there, it's Lakazi. Thanks for joining me again for another replay. Here we have Slai spawning in the bottom left-hand corner as the yellow Zerg, and Hellyvin in the top right-hand corner as the blue Protoss. Now, both of these players are Master League players. This obviously wasn't played on the ladder because they have awesome colors that aren't red and blue, aka George's yellow, Slai. So this was a custom game, I believe, that was being used to determine these two players' eligibility into a clan, which I believe is GG, who Snick Snipe is a member of, which is why Slai wants to get in. So, here we have a good ZVP between two players of an equal skill level in toward the upper end of Master League, actually. Great players. Love watching Slai play. It's the best Zerg I know. And so far we have very standard play out of the Protoss and the Zerg. And it looks like it's going to be a scouting drone is going to be sent across the map to see what type of annoyance it can cause. There by Slai. And when he gets over there and he sees this positioning of the pylon, he's probably going to assume it's safe to expand because that pylon's just in a weird place for Hellyvin. I'm not really sure why I dropped the pylon there. I guess he's going to wall with a cybernetics core and a gateway. He's afraid of banelings or something. But on this map, Zerglings can be really devastating because a lot of players like to expand, so a lot of Zergs will actually go for like a 13 pool and pump out 6 Zerglings and just go test the wall and then expand behind it once they know they're safe. Because you can actually Zeal rush on this map. You can just like walk over here and drop a pylon and 2-gate right here and put on a lot of pressure and deny an expansion by a Zerg that's going hatch first. So it looks like Slai went ahead and 15 expanded and then 14 pooled and is now droning back up. His drone is over here in the Protoss player's base. He's dropped it on the extractor here, and it's going to extractor trick cancel, which Slai is probably the best Zerg I've ever seen at getting scouting information out of one drone. And annoyance. One of his drones is worth like a Marine at the beginning of the game. They're so annoying. And it looks like Slai is going to let the extractor finish in this match because he wants to deny that gas from the Protoss player. He doesn't want him sneaking over him as soon as the drone cancels and starts to scoot away. A smart Protoss will immediately pick it back up if the drone goes for more scouting. And it looks like the Zeal is going to walk over and start beating on that. And Slai didn't make any Zerglings to punish that move. You can actually, that's when you can run in 6 Zerglings right there, is when you see them walk up to your extractor and start to attack it. And it's not like the Zerglings are going to do a massive amount of damage, but you can generally pick off like 2, maybe 3 probes if you micro really well. You actually see that a lot in players like Sheth or Sen. You see them microing their Zerglings amazingly if they manage to sneak 1 or 2 into the base and do quite a lot of damage with it. Looks like Slai is going to go ahead and start creep tumoring. His second queen just finished. It's probably going to spit and not creep tumor. Yeah, there it is. Pretty standard. When you're rolling with 2 queens like this, you really have enough larva right now to be able to use all of your money. So this is the point where you want to get a creep tumor down right away. And it looks like Vin is planning on expanding here. He's dropped a forge, 2 pylons, and a gateway, and is moving up to take his expansion. And this is a pretty solid build order for expanding, though. Some high aggression could really put a dent in this wall, as it is a wide ramp, and it actually takes 2 force fields to block units from getting up it. So any type of, roach or maybe even like baneling roach can deal a lot of damage there, as you're going to need a lot of force fields to try and fend that off. And the gas was taken later than he would have liked because of Slai denying it with that extractor. So we'll have to see. We have Zergling speed going down for Slai. Interesting, hasn't opted for roaches yet. He's picking up a layer. He is creep tumoring his way. He's about, after this one finishes, it's going to creep down the ramp and he's going to start expanding across. Yep, not too much going on. Just 1 gas for Slai here. Some pretty solid micro out of both the players right now. Slai up to 40 drones, just drone pumping like crazy. 41 now. And his standing army consists of 4 Zerglings, but the other player's standing army consists of 4 sentries and a Zeal, so Slai's not really in a bad position there. A cannon going up over here, and another pylon. Overseer morphing for Slai. Where is that Overseer at? There it is. It's going to go in the back and drop over there. Worker transfer over here for Vin. And looks like he's going to be chrono boosting out of 2 Nexuses. Just getting that econ up. Sentry account is starting to get up there. It's at 5. Zerglings scooting their way across the map. Looks like a 3rd queen was built here for Slai, and he's picking up his 3rd base, which that queen will slowly creep its way over toward. Infestation pit being dropped by Slai. Now, and an Evo chamber. Yeah, Evo chamber being dropped by Slai for upgrades. This is a pretty standard composition for Zerg, which I really like. It's one of my favorites if he's doing what I think he's doing, which is Ling Infestor play, which can then pick up, I mean, if there's no Colossus on the field, it's extremely powerful. High Templar can be kind of rough for it if they get really good storms, but other than that, not really much. Like a regular gateway army actually gets ripped apart by it, so like the upgraded gateway army does not do well versus this ground force, which as far as Slai has seen so far is the case, so it's not a bad force to go with. Plus, it's not like it locks you into any type of tech. Upgrading your melee unit damage is always really powerful as a Zerg player, as Ultralists, Zerglings, Broodlings all use that +1 melee damage, so not bad at all. And Slai positioning a bunch of Zerglings here. His Overseer gets in just at the right time to see that there are Phoenixes that are going to be out on the field soon. There's 1 Phoenix out, and it's time for Slai to start dropping maybe some anti-air. Banelings being more for Slai. +1 melee going down. Pathogen lands going down. So his Infestors are going to, when they are created, be able to immediately cast a Fungal Growth, which can really rip apart Phoenixes pretty well. And this is a real Phoenix, not a hallucinated Phoenix flying around and tickling all of these overlords. There's an Infestor on the field now, and there are Spore Crawlers being morphed in all of the mineral lines of Slai. 2 in the main, 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the natural. And that Phoenix did get picked off. There are 2 more Phoenixes out. Another Forge down, though neither of the Forges is upgrading at all, so I'm not sure why he picked up a 2nd one. Twilight Council going down, Robo going down, so pretty much every tech path under the sun being picked up here by Hellyvin. And +1 armor and +1 attack are going down, so that would be why. Still, standing army is pretty small for the 11-minute mark, no real big engagements. Slai moving out his Zerglings to see if a 3rd had been picked up, which it has not. These Phoenixes actually wasting a liftoff on 1 Zergling, which is a waste, I say, because there was already another Zergling there. And yeah, so far it's just this Infestor Ling play. Good fungal down, and it looks like both these Phoenixes are going to die, to the use of just a few energy from these Infestors. Really good Infestor use there by Slai. Looks like a lot more gateways coming up. Templar Archive is going down, so it looks like it might be like a Archon based army here. Which is really good actually versus this Ling Infestor force. Probably Archons are probably the best unit to use versus this. Though they can get neuroparasited, but it's not that big of a deal. They're not armored, so they don't take the bonus damage from the fungal. Lots of gateways coming in. +1/+1 about to finish here. Slai moving in, trying to deny that 3rd of the Protoss. 3-base Protoss is really scary. Slai knows it. He comes in, cancels the Nexus, and he's gonna just scoot on out of there. Meanwhile, his 4th has finished. He has a queen there. It is spitting its larva, making spit on the hatchery. Slai has some overlords positioned around the map, dropping creep. to prevent expansions from going up here. Quite a few High Templar are being warped in here by Vin. Slai moving up underground as he has not seen an observer, which I'm not sure there is an observer. Fungal going out on all those forces. A second Fungal going out. Feedback going off, picking off a Infestor. Another Fungal. Burrow. Spitting lots of infested Terran up on the hill there. And then moving up again to again Fungal all those Zeals. Another Fungal on the Zeals. All those Zeals die. But more Zeals have been warped in. And the Zerglings are going to be forced away. These high ground infested Terran up here not really doing that much. Quite a few Archons morphed. They just ripped through a lot of the Zerglings that did manage to get over there. And Slai really needs to start towards an Ultralisk switch versus this army now. Slai popping out 3 macro hatches in his natural, or in his main. That is insane. Hive is done. Morphing an Ultralisk Cavern now. He doesn't have that much gas though. We have +2/+1 versus +1/+1. Obs out on the field to prevent those infestors from slowly creeping up underground. Slai has managed to pin in the Protoss player onto 3 base. So at least when this natural runs out of minerals, he's not going to be able to expand after that very easily. And Slai picking up his 5th base on the top there. Few Zerglings just kind of chilling. Lots of queens with lots of energy moving around, getting a lot of spits on all of these hatcheries. They're like 7 hatcheries on the field right now. It's just, that's an insane amount of larvae. And Slai's just going to try and overwhelm with Zerglings, it looks like. 5 Ultralisks morphing onto the field. Their armor upgrade is going to finish not that much longer actually after they are actually produced, because they take about a year to create. So when they finish making, their upgrade will actually almost be done. +3 ground weapons and charge going down for the Protoss player. Lots of banelings being morphed here. Looks like baneling drops are about to come into place. Speed, Overlord speed, and carrying capacity has been researched. And it looks like just a giant massing up of forces here. And it's about to get ridiculous pretty soon, I think. Lots of banelings rolling around, moving up to that tower. They do get sight. They see the entire Protoss force. And the Protoss should actually stay and try and force it into this choke here. But it looks like he's moving out toward the middle. He really needs a 4th, which is the issue he's running into right now. But moving out into the open field is not a good idea for him. Slai controlling all these units very well. A few Zerglings going down unnecessarily. Banelings getting in there. Lots of Infestors throwing down Fungals. Banelings connecting. Lots and lots of Infested Terran popping out. Feedback's going off on some of these Infestors, and they're getting chased down by Zeals even though they're underground. But the Infested Terrans just doing so much damage, cleaning up the rest of that Gateway army. And Slai has made a very good equal trade here, which is really what you want to do with Zerg. You don't necessarily win the game with that one push, but now Slai is going to be able to pump out a ton of units and throw himself back at this Protoss player, who is relatively low on minerals. Oh, a good baneling bomb must have gone down up here at the Expo. I'm actually really sad I missed that. That was my fault. I bet it was awesome, as there's no mining going on up here. The mineral patch was gone, and there's an Overlord dropping creep. So, again, re-engaging. Good feedbacks on those Infestors, though. 2 Infestors getting hit by feedback during that. Zerglings look like they're just slowly going to overwhelm, however. And I cannot see Vin holding out very much longer versus this pressure. There's just Zerglings streaming across the field. 9 more Ultras coming up. And yeah, Vin calls GG here as Slai wins this game. So here we see the Infestor Ling Ultralisk play, which is really powerful versus a Protoss army. The Ultralisk stomp down any force fields. The Lings can take out any type of gateway unit, really, if there's no force fields. Zeals give them a run from their money, but they're not that great versus ultras, and if they're pinned in position, and the Zerglings actually get a great surround pinned in position via the Infestor's Fungal Growth, they can actually do really well versus Zeals, and then those banelings rolling in there were just the icing on the cake, really, for Slai. There weren't that many storms. Actually, I'm not really sure I saw any storms going down on the Zerg army as it rushed in. It got there and fungal growth and really surrounded before storms could go out, so it was hard to storm and not damage his own units. So really well played there by Slai. Thank you for shooting this replay over to me, Slai. And subscribe down below, like down below, you know, follow me on Facebook or on Justin TV, whichever one you're watching this on, and then go to the other one and do the same. And thanks for tuning in. Slai, of course, in the running for that free dinner plus whatever else I can think up. I'm trying to find something cool to give them, but I haven't managed to do anything yet, though it's only been like 2 days of looking, so maybe soon for that. For the University of Houston players, like challenge of June, whichever one of them gets the most likes on their videos that I cast gets a free dinner out of me. And Slai's only at 2 videos, Trimaster's at 2 videos, Exo's at like 4 videos. So Exo, I think, is in the lead right now with like 8 or 10 likes. So need more likes on all these videos, guys. Like them down below. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys next time. This was Lakazi casting for you. Have a good night.